Hello everyone and welcome to Healing with Simar. I'm so happy you are here today. This channel is more than a place to learn. It's a family where we come together to share our journeys, inspire one another, and grow through love. Today, I'm sharing something very close to my heart, a topic that reflects the incredible love and guidance of the divine that flows through every breath we take. There are moments in life when the mind feels confused, bringing waves of thoughts, doubts, and distractions. Yet, in those very moments, one true and sacred vibration has the power to silence all the noise within, and that is the power of Shabad. When I say Shabad, I'm talking about something truly special. In Sikh teachings, it refers to a sacred hymn, a divine vibration filled with timeless wisdom and truth. But here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be Sikh to feel its power. Shabad is universal, a song of love and truth that speaks directly to the heart, bringing peace and clarity. Every Shabad carries a gentle reminder from the universe. You are never alone. Even when life feels uncertain, there is guidance waiting for you to listen. For me, a Shabad became exactly that, more than just words, but a guiding light. For someone else, that guiding light might come in a different form. A prayer or ardas, a verse from the Bible or a mantra that suddenly fills the heart with love. No matter what form it takes, it's that same voice of truth that pulls you out of darkness and gently brings you back to your center. Let's take a moment to pause and reflect on our own journeys. Think back, what was that Shabad, prayer, ardas or mantra that truly touched your soul? The one that shifted your energy and brought a sense of bliss into your life. I would love to hear about the moments that made a difference in your life. The moments where trust or divine connection brought clarity and peace. For me, I have experienced the power of Shabad many times in my life. One moment in particular stays close to my heart. When the fear of unknown felt too heavy to carry, and a Shabad gave me strength and clarity. Let me take you back to my treatment days. I still remember the day of my first chemo session. On the way to the hospital, I stayed quiet, just listening to my loved ones talk about everyday things. It reminded me of how parents comfort their child on the way to the doctor, using simple, gentle words to make everything seems okay. I could hear the care in their voices, in the way they tried to keep things light. But inside, my mind was a bit uneasy. Everything felt unknown and uncertain. I didn't know what to expect. what to expect once I walked through those hospital doors. Part of me felt confused, and part of me a little nervous. In that moment of uncertainty, my mind started to whisper, what if things don't work out for you? What if today is the last day? The weight of it felt heavy on my heart. But then, almost out of nowhere, another thought arose, strong enough to silence all the noise in my head. It was a verse by Bhagat Kabir ji. Mann na diggey, tan kahe ko daree. Let's feel the vibration of this Shabad by repeating one more time. Mann na diggey, tan kahe ko daree. Its meaning touched me deeply. If your mind remains strong, fear cannot overpower you. Those words didn't just comfort me, they transformed me. In that moment, I felt my inner strength awaken again, rising above the fog of doubt and illusion. I realized that courage isn't about running away from fear. It's about staying calm and steady when fear tries to shake you. And that's exactly what the Shabad reminded me of. As I let the words of the Shabad sink into my heart, I realized I had a choice: to rely on my mind's limited beliefs and turn this into a desperate fight for survival, or to place my trust in the divine flow of life, seeing this as an opportunity to learn and grow through experiences I had never known before. It felt as if the choice has already been made for me. I just need to step back and watch how everything was aligning for my highest good. The way the Shabad surfaced in my mind and then revealed its own meaning reminded me to stay still, trust the moment, and receive the lesson it was bringing. Over time, I realized something even deeper. When you truly feel the vibration of Shabad, something within you begins to shift. The weight of challenges starts to fade, and even moments of pain or uncertainty begins to lose their power. It's no longer the situation that defines your journey, but the trust you place in those divine sacred words. Words you may have heard many times before, but this time they touch your soul differently. They awaken something deep inside, a strength that reminds you that you were never alone in the first place. As I continued on my healing journey, I realized that many of the thoughts that once filled my mind, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, were never really mine. They were echoes from the world around me, trying to overshadow the divine peace that had always been within. And that's where, when I truly understood how easily we absorb the energy of others. Our minds are like sponges. They absorb the energy of everything and everyone around us. Without noticing, our minds take in those vibrations, carrying fear that isn't our own. But Shabad reminded me to pause, to breathe, and to return to that still place of awareness where only truth and love exist. As I continued to heal, that realization brought me even closer to gratitude. Gratitude for every person, every word, and every moment that shaped my journey. I began to see how even the hardest experiences were helping me to return to that still, divine presence within. And that's why I share these reflections with you from a place of love and care. My hope is that they remind you that your journey is also guided by that divine energy. Even a single pure Shabad, a sacred sound, can dissolve old patterns and bring profound healing. Sometimes we just need to remember it, especially when life feels uncertain or heavy. If any part of this sharing speaks to your heart, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections help us grow together, letting go of old patterns and moving towards a life of awareness and peace. If you have been enjoying these stories and lessons from my journey, please subscribe and tap the bell icon so you will know when the next episode is released. In our next session, we will explore a meditation on empowering the mind. Until then, gently remind yourself with this beautiful Shabad. Man na diggey, tan kahe ko daree. Once again, man na diggey, tan kahe ko daree. When the mind stands steady, what is there to fear? May you stay anchored in peace, guided by light, and surrounded by the divine vibration of love.